Final
It's episode 13. I'm
episode
Cam, Brandon, Ryan.
of
We're
the
back.
season.
Yeah, I mean, just off the rip, I feel like this one, I was already coping with the loss the day before it happened, so I'm not. This one didn't hurt as bad as like 2019 hurt, 2020, which we're going to talk about in a little bit because I kind of want to circle back to that. But yeah, I mean, there's kind of a lot to talk about. There's already so much that's already been said. I do want to say one thing though. I was listening back to stuff that we had spoken about in the past already. Episode 8. For anyone listening to this, I think it was called "The Yanks Are an Enigma." That was the name of the episode. I don't know why, but we recorded that one like almost 2 months ago, and I was listening back what we said. Anyone watching this can go back and listen to that. The last like 20 minutes of it, the timestamps are all there. We really just hit the nail completely on the head. Not that it was that hard to see this coming, because it really wasn't at all. We've seen it now 6 years in a row. But just like really the way everything played out, we just completely nailed a couple months
Well, it's not difficult
ahead.
for anybody to see except one group of people. One group of people refuse to see it.
I guess,
One
man.
group of people are so out of touch with everything that's going on, so out of touch with their fan base, so out of touch with what reality is on the baseball. It's one group of people. Every other realistic, knowledgeable baseball Yankee fan saw what we saw. It's been the same thing year in and year out.
Yeah,
Which is why if you go back, Cam, if you go back to, I don't know if it's that episode or a different one, I used the term like 2 months ago, and now I really firmly believe it. Organizational rot from the top down. The organization just no longer has that, that aura about them. We're back into the 80s. We're back into just the dark ages, period.
Well, right, I was saying this, I think, to you, because me and Ryan were at Game 3, which was, I mean, just a putrid game for many reasons.
My first game in 3 years. I scored the game. Miserable.
Ryan scored the whole game. I mean,
Miserable.
not to just be like the ultimate Debbie Downer and, just disregard the history of the team, which is the most prestigious in all of sports. But for my adult life, all I know with the Yankees is just crushing defeat and failure, honestly.
We can't talk about the history of the team anymore. Oh, 27 rings. Bro, we have one.
Yeah.
One.
And dude,
in over 20 years.
It's been a while,
One.
and it really it feels
Enough.
like the formula is just like.
And I'm a history
we-
teacher. I live in the past, not for this.
Can we just like
Enough.
grow up from what this philosophy of the Yankees has become, which is, I mean, Brand, if you have any thoughts, you can go before I kind of go into the marker of what I've identified as really like the moment I witnessed happen that I was like, wait a minute, this is like not who the Yankees should be, and just the way that baseball has been being operated and played by the organization. But yeah, man, it's, we've had the superstars. They have spent money, maybe not in the ways or totally cash out the way we want them to, but the team is just like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, man, to see all of this. And it's really year after year now. Cool, we get into the playoffs. Like, yeah, I'd rather get into the playoffs than not get into the playoffs, but there's really no hope. Like, that when they get matched up against a really good team in a long series, they're not going to come through, and they haven't even once, because I know they've won some DSs, good, against inferior teams. But as soon as the chance to win a pennant comes, they cannot do it, and they get further and further away. So we all have thoughts on what should happen here. I'm sure we're all going to get let down, because I'm sure
we're all going to get let down. Nothing's going to change. Boone's going to be managing. Cashman's the GM. Steinbrenner owns the team. It's going to be that way.
It's going to be adjust, that way. Though. Like, can't they see that? And we'll see if some of the quotes that have been coming out, though, are a little insane and just
when you have Alex Rodriguez, Mariano Rivera, saying things in the media like, yo, this
Jeter
has to
said
change.
something today.
This is A-Rod with the whole Judge leading off thing, which is minuscule at this point, calling it like gimmicky baseball in the playoffs. We had 3 starting shortstops in the ALCS alone. We have a different lineup every day. Like, what
are we
is
doing?
this, dude? This
Can
is
we
not
play baseball,
baseball,
man? Can we just give us I at least, if they lose, just playing like normal. If they just played baseball normally and they lost, it's like it's one thing. But when they march out whatever this has been for all right, so I'm gonna go back to what it is right now though. But what I've identified has been like really the turning point of when this team has kind of just lost its mind and identity and just really like turned its back on conventional logic. 2017, great year. Great series against Houston. They lost that series in 7. I wasn't freaking out about the way they played or anything. That was, you know what? That was a great just series.
Yeah, there were no
baseball,
expectations
right?
there.
Sure. 2018, disappointing. We got stomped out by an unstoppable force in the Red Sox that year. 2019 again, tough. Probably the most brutal loss that we had to swallow throughout this whole thing. But again, hard-fought series. 2020. Game 2 of the ALDS was the first time I can recall in my life watching the Yankees play where they made that decision instead of just pitching Tanaka. I'll never forget when Brent, we were in Wyoming when this happened. And I was like, what are they doing? Like, wait a minute. What is going on here? Like that? What? We're going to use an opener and then go to our
Who'd they throw? Heaney?
Worst? No, they started Devi Garcia for one inning, who gave up a homer, and then they went to Jay Happ.
Jay Happ.
Terrible.
Yep.
And so that was just like okay.
They
like,
played down to their competition. They played Tampa Bay Ray baseball
after
in that series.
After you had just won Game 1, and you have your best playoff pitcher, historically speaking, to that point, in Tanaka, ready to go for Game 2, and they just that was the moment of like, wait a minute, this is like.
I mean, I know you. What?
Go, just go. What?
Don't throw shade on my boy Pettit like that, claiming Tanaka as the best postseason pitcher in history.
What? Jesus, right? At the
That's
time.
what you just said. That's what you just said. Don't do that to my boy. Don't do that to my boy.
Nothing to do with Pettit at the time. So they go with that, and then I'm like, okay, that makes no baseball logical sense whatsoever. And from that moment on, this team has just been riddled with just like, oh, they're doing that. Like, all right, we'll lead off Judge. Okay, that.
Well, Brand, where's your
Rizzo? Like, they've gone so over the top with this stuff where the identity of just like a sane baseball team is totally not existent anymore, and it's just hideous to watch. It's more frustrating when they lose because it's like, well, that figures when you have 48 guys in a room and 37 computers. That's actually what's dictating what we see. Dude, I thought they learned their lesson against Cleveland. I had a whole 5-minute spiel about how the DS going 5 games was actually a good thing because it taught us our lesson about needing a good defensive shortstop to play and going to our best bullpen arms when we need to get big outs in the game. I thought they learned that, and then what do you know? Immediately in the ALCS, it's like right back to ICAF playing short and then just bullpen guys coming out that make no sense whatsoever. It's all, none of it is, what have the Yankees become, dude? Like, they've become the Rays. Like, why do we want to be the Rays? Why? We have megastars, dude.
We play Billy Bean Moneyball in a market that we don't need to be playing Billy Bean Moneyball. We buy these players because A, we can, but then B, we should go let them play. Instead of like micromanaging and playing matchups and worrying about pitch counts and switching the lineup every goddamn day, just go and play with the team that you bought. Because again, that whole thing, that whole rhetoric of like, oh, you were just buying your championships. You're goddamn right we were buying our championships. We're the biggest market in the sport.
It goes beyond that, though.
Buy your players and let them play. Stop micromanaging.
It's everything, though. It's the handling of prospects and not allowing guys to play positions and building.
It's all micromanaging.
Dude, we said this, and it's not just us. It's everybody who knows anything about baseball and watches Yankees in any sort of quantity like we do. none of this has ever made sense, dude.
Yeah,
you have
what was-
nobody. You don't have a set team. You don't have your starter at every position. You have 3 guys who play 3 positions who need to find space to play. So you have 4 guys who move all over the place. You have guys who play positions they shouldn't be playing, who hit in spots in the order that change every single day. And then the whole team, this whole thing has just become like
Bro,
a
I mentioned this
I
in
don't
a
get
past.
it.
Mentioned this in the
tiring,
past one too.
dude.
O'Neal talks about it regularly. The changing of the lineup on his broadcast. He goes, "Yo, I love showing up to the park knowing what position I was playing, where I was hitting in the order. It was the same every single day. I got
this so
comfortable.
many
I knew
times,
my
dude.
job. I knew my role. I performed better." But people say it all the time. Even players on the team have said things. Stanton, how many times do we need to hear him tell us, "I play better when I'm in the outfield. I like being in the outfield." And he's DH'd
You
all
don't
the time
need them to
until
tell you
you
that,
have
though.
injuries where it forces him into the
You
outfield.
don't need them to tell you that.
Stop
Anybody who's played, anybody who
micromanaging.
has seen baseball anybody who's watched a game of baseball knows all this stuff.
Get the nerds
this isn't
out
new.
of Yankee
Like,
baseball. Get them away.
You need guys have a position. You tell them that's their position. You don't. This is not new stuff.
What was the bet? We were big in into Fort for a couple years. We always used to talk about what was the best part about that game. You guys remember what we used to say about that?
What?
About how they would make a change in the game, and then they would listen to the fan base and be like, "Ooh, that didn't work. Our fans don't like that. Let's roll that back. Let's pull that back." For some reason, the front office has zero finger on the pulse of not just the fans, of the commentators, the broadcasters, the media, the journalists.
I get.
They have no finger on the pulse of any of it.
You can't run a team based off what especially the Yankee fan base, because there's more idiot Yankee fans than probably per capita.
That's
of any
not what
fan
I'm saying.
base.
This is not.
No,
this
I
is
know.
this is a different time though.
No, because I don't
the,
know, bro.
The team. I mean, we said it on or actually, I don't even remember when we started doing this, but we were talking amongst ourselves at the beginning of the season. This team was just built real clunky. Nobody there. We had too many players on the team. Nobody fit. We had in the beginning of the season. I'm like, who is? You're gonna have an odd man
day.
out here.
Yeah.
And they started off the first 80 games of the season. They were on fire, so it kind of just brushed all of that away.
Yeah, swept it under the rug.
But
for a
then,
little while.
kind of we came back to reality, and just kind of the talk of Judge hitting 62. I think.
Yeah.
Kind of
that was it.
Again, brushed the main storyline under the rug, which was this team is just built improperly. And then a couple of things happened. I mean, the Donaldson IKF trade just proved to be an absolute bust. Donaldson had the worst season of his career.
And I defended him too in the beginning. I was like, wait, this
yeah,
guy's
he's gonna.
next MVP.
That's what I kept saying. I said he's gonna.
He's a guy you love to hate.
He's gonna
It's good to have
explode.
that on
I was
the
like, he's
team.
gonna get hot. He's gonna get hot. He never got hot. He had a terrible season.
I didn't hate
it is
that
what it
trade,
is.
but
However,
go ahead, yeah.
at the end of the day, it's we've seen him suck all season. How about we not have him play?
You change the lineup every damn day. Why can't he take
what
a
an
seat?
idea, Brand.
I mean,
that's
you
what
got
an
these
idea.
top prospects in the system, and when they brought up Cabrera, I made a whole fuss. I'm like, why didn't you bring up Peraza? He is our guy. They ended up bringing Peraza up, but it's Peraza and Cabrera and maybe not Volpe, but these guys should have been getting consistent play since July. And it's I know you pay Donaldson $25 million a year, but it's man, if you're not producing, I don't know.
Cam, what did you say?
Then it just boils down to who is to blame here, and
it's the philosophy.
Boone
of the
is to
team.
blame, man. Boone.
Well, no.
I-
Hold on.
Boone
You-
is to
you
blame for
started
his
that-
own set
hold
of
on.
things, not just that, though.
You started the argument by saying the team was clunky coming out of spring training. We all
Right.
talked about that. Who builds the
No,
team?
yes,
Not Boone.
all right. Let me rephrase. It's not 100% of Boone, but I think he takes the majority of the fault here. First and foremost, the guy just doesn't know how to manage games properly. First, he doesn't know
Yeah,
how to
facts.
create. He
Yeah.
doesn't know how to create
Yeah.
lineups. He just
I don't know if
he has a random lineup generator that he pushes a button every night, and it spits it out. He doesn't know how to create a lineup, and he doesn't know how to stay consistent.
I don't think that's him.
Here's how he makes the lineups. Here's how he
we
makes
could say
the lineups.
it's not him.
Like this.
We could say it's
goes
not
like
him
this.
all we want. He is the manager of the team. He makes the lineups, and that's who I'm going to blame. I don't really... It's all hearsay. He's the manager. I'm putting the blame on him. Second of all...
I agree.
He's in charge of like the vibes and the energy and the getting the most out of your guys. And he does not seem to consistently get the most out of his players. Whether it's, oh, I'm just going to rest you every 3 days because I think you need rest, or, oh, I'm going to hit a guy who typically should hit 5th or 6th lead off. I'm going to put Judge in lead off, or I'm going to hit Glaber lead off, or this guy's going to like. Yo, you are not instilling confidence in the players.
Or someone's not going to run in a do or die game that could cost your season and no one says anything about it. We'll wait for him.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's so much dysfunction with this team.
Yeah.
But for me, I have to look at the guy who takes the most of the blame, the guy who creates the lineups, the guy who's supposed to be getting the most out of his players, the guy who is running these guys out in the positions that they're playing every single day, and that's Boone. And that's not even to mention just all the boneheaded bullpen moves he made in the playoffs. I think that's kind of like the least of my worries, but... And it sucks because now we've had, 3-4 days to sit on this, and we've kind of gotten news that Boone and Cashman are going to stay.
Yeah, of course
they were. I didn't expect them to leave, but now it's just like, okay, what would you like to see heading into next season? And I had mentioned it before we got on this call. I said, you look at a guy like Jeremy Pena, you look at Julio Rodriguez, you look at what the Braves are doing.
Braves team.
They rock with their prospects, and they put confidence in them, and they instill trust in these guys, and they say, go out and play. We have so many top prospects that we have in our system that just sit there for what? So we can have Josh Donaldson and IKF be our starting guys?
And they don't trade them. They covet them. Then use them. Utilize them.
I would love the left side of our infield next season on opening day to be Peraza and Volpe. I would love that.
I mean, but see,
0%.
Here's the problem. That's of course what I want. But as a fan of this organization,
I know it's not going to happen.
I know it doesn't matter what I want because again, they in the front office do not have their finger on the pulse. We watch, and I've seen now 5, 6, 7, 8 years of this. Clint Frazier, hey, you're going to be the starting left fielder. Psych,
Dead.
1 week in, you're not. Hey, Miguel Andujar, you're going to basically win Rookie of the Year and then disappear. We're never going to use you again. All these pitching prospects, we're going to trade you away for a bag of balls.
Jordan Montgomery, dead.
Anything. They gave away, and I don't know what they're going to be, but in the trade to get Montas, they gave away guys like J.P. Sears, who I have no idea what he's going to do. I'm not saying he's a stud, but this organization does not put their stock in the prospects anymore. They say, we got Dominguez, we got Volpe, we got Peraza, we got this, but then they don't put stock in them. They just use it as lip service to say, hey, the farm's really good, the future's bright, watch out, be a fan, and they just dangle that carrot in front of us like we're stupid, and they never give them an actual chance.
It's what we're saying, though. Yeah, it's exactly what we're saying, though. Their own selves get in their own way. Because, all right, sure, if you're not going to trade the whole farm to get the Juan Soto, the Turner, whenever it was, any of the people, okay. But then when you ruin your own prospects at the rate this team does in the name of analytics, is what I continue to blame for all of it, though. And all the guys you just mentioned, as well as many others, and I know injuries are a part of it. Of course they are. But how come every other team can do this successfully? How come the Dodgers can do both successfully? How come the Braves can have an entire team like that come up successfully? We have a farm system that's that good, apparently. But, dude, what will the Yankees do? They'll have Volpe come up. Volpe will hit 310, then he'll be back in the minors for no reason. Or he won't play.
This is the first year I've been saying it, but this all points to what I mentioned maybe a month and a half ago in one of the episodes. Organizational rot from the top down. It needs to be clear.
Dude,
the culture needs to change, and it's not going to change if you keep every single person that is responsible for for determining
gonna.
culture the same.
You know they're
so
gonna.
If Steinbrenner still owns, if Cashman still is the GM, if Boone is still the manager, the culture will not change because it hasn't changed now for not a small sample size. It hasn't changed now for 5, 6, 7 years. You want to go all the way back to 2009, the last time they actually competed and dominated. Then it hasn't changed in freaking 15 years at this point. So it's not going to change until
so
you
what,
clear
are they just
the
never
rock.
going to win?
Yeah, no,
Not until I'm at the point now. They're not going to win. They're not going to actually compete and get to a World Series and win a World Series until the owner, the GM, and the manager have a change in face.
Okay, so they're not going to. So, well, compete's a different word. They compete every year, but in the postseason they don't.
Stop. They're the biggest market in sports. Competing is not getting to the playoffs.
Right.
Stop.
It's the Yankees, dude.
No,
and now you got to hear all this talk about guys crying and whatever. Go ahead, Brian.
The only thing I will say, just to like play devil's advocate, is you mentioned the Dodgers and the Braves, but they got bounced in the DS, and each have won World Series. And if you actually think about it, even including the Astros, I'm not, obviously the Astros are levels above the Yankees over the last decade, but they still only have one title, and who knows, they might win their second this year. But
Brand, they've gone to the World Series 4
no,
times.
I know. That's why they're
got
levels
4
ahead.
pennants.
But when you look at it, no one cares about World Series berths. They care about titles.
This conversation would be
course.
way different if the Yanks were losing in the World Series. Oh, well, no, we'd be pretty pissed. If they had one World Series title in 4 appearances, we would not be acting like this right now.
But right, the bottom line is that in the frustration with fans is it's pretty evident what needs to change.
It's always, yeah.
It's spitting on your shoes.
However, it just seems like there's a massive disconnect, and
That's that right there. Again, they do not, and when I say they, I mean the front, they do not have their finger on the pulse at all. At all.
well,
There is such a huge difference between what the typical fan calls into WFAN complaining about and what is actually happening in the front office.
And I get they can't listen to fan. I get it. Like, and this was my. I've always
no,
said,
but to an extent, you should listen to your fans.
No,
to
you
an
should.
extent,
But
You should.
I have always said I've always been like, as much as we love and talk about baseball, I just have to imagine the front office knows better than we do. I just have to imagine that. I've been saying that for like years. I really don't think they do at this point. For like, all right, not the total base of Yankee fandom, because again, there are a lot of idiot Yankee fans out there per capita, probably more than any, just outspoken people who like actually just sound like idiots. I hear a million of them at the stadium every time we're there, which I also want to talk about. But dude, we've really gotten to the point with this analytical stuff that we've been taught, and that again, that I first saw in 2020 with a move that's like whatever that was, whoever told them that made sense. And now that has just seeped into every aspect of the way this team constructs teams and deploys teams and within pitch to pitch actually plays the game, if they can't realize that doesn't work when you actually want to win a pennant, not just play 162 and win a lot of games through that. Yes, that's good. That happens. And then they say it's the crapshoot. That's not the mentality of the Yankees, man. And I know it's harder these days. It's harder. I know it's harder to win the World Series now than it was in '96. There's more teams. Okay, you need the win to win the division, have a top 2 record, so you can avoid the stupid BS new rounds that they're introducing.
Yeah,
into
but
the
not
sport.
even. But not even. I could argue that's almost a disadvantage.
Dude, if you just construct a normal team where you have stud players who know their position and their spot in the order and who do more than just slug. If the whole offense is based around something other than just your fucking exit velo and your barrel percentage and whatever all that stuff is that Donaldson to, because that's all he cares about, you probably will do much better than when you look at these guys and you have second and third and nobody out and you can't move anybody. Or you go to an extra inning game where this team has done multiple times this year, runner on second, nobody out, and not only can they not score a runner from second, they can't even move them with 3 outs because everyone's up there swinging their off, trying to hit a bomb when all you need is a ground ball the other way and a fly ball, or a bunt and a fly ball,
but again,
or a bunt and a bunt, or a stolen base and a bunt, or a hit and run, or anything other than Josh Donaldson.
This all proves the point I've been making, that for the first time in my fandom, the first time ever, I am pointing the finger above the manager. And I'm saying to myself, hey, you nerd Brian Cashman with your bald head and your tortoiseshell-looking Harry Potter glasses, why are you nerding out? Why?
We have our power bats. We have the power bats. Let's get the rest.
Anything you want. So load up the middle of your order with your big boppers, which you have, and go get me some role players.
For real,
please.
Dog. So we had Judge and Stanton. We had the power.
Well, Benintendi got
right.
hurt.
No,
DJ,
I mean
you know
that. It's not an excuse, but like,
stop me in my tracks.
That stings. That really stings. Like, you have 200-300 hitters take out of our lineup.
Yeah, no, and I was saying that a lot. That escapes the brain when I start going to the tangent about analytics.
And that's why I'm just like, I agree, Cashman's made some good moves. So I agree that he hasn't set the team up well at the start of the season, but in my opinion, it's on Boone, man. And just going back to what you were saying, Cam, this infatuation now that the league over the last handful of years has with OPS, right? OPS, slugging and getting on base. How about this? OPS doesn't work in the playoffs because I don't care what you slug and I don't care that you walk. If you can't get base hits, you ain't winning.
You are gonna lose.
You ain't winning. How about the Yankees?
If you can't run.
The Yankees slug better than most people, and they struck out 800 times in the playoffs.
Oh.
It's like, yo, how about we look at, the statistic that we've looked at for the last 100 years that now we've deemed irrelevant, batting average. Can you get hits?
Brand, you made fun of him. You made fun of him, but give me 9 Stephen Kwans on the team.
Yeah,
dude.
No joke.
I was like, yo, get Stephen Kwan on our team next year. I want him playing left field. If we can't sign Benintendi, I want Stephen Kwan.
Like, yo,
it's like,
yo, you and I know you were just fucking around, and totally, I agreed. But like you said, oh, what am I supposed to be afraid of Stephen Kwan? Give me 9 of him, and I'll win a game.
And again, of course, you need guys that jack the ball out of the stadium, and that's why we have Judge and Stanton and Rizzo. But man,
Judge.
There it is.
But man,
there it is. There's your 3, 4, 5
every
every
night.
night.
To incorporate guys who have high batting average. Like, if you can't have a whole team that hits 220 to 250, and then you have these idiots. Oh, well, he has an 800 OPS, dude. He's hitting 230, and this isn't going to play in big time games against big time pitchers. It's just not going to play. So, like, enough with this OPS infatuation. I'm just exhausted about it. And I'm tired that what's been tried and true over the last 30 years now, we've just discredited. And it's a joke.
Look, we've talked on our own about this. Like, all these new stats and all this new stuff that people buy into, like, cool, it's flashy, it's fun, whatever. But you give me, like, the 5 basic stats, I'll tell you if a player's good or not, period. You give me, like, average, homers, RBIs, stolen bases. I'll tell you if the guy is good.
Totally agree. But, dude, it's use analytics. Analytics are good, okay? But when you get to the point with where we're at now, with the way these lineups come out and the way the bullpen... Bro, they care more about lanes in a bullpen in a season-saving situation than they do just go... If they had Mariano Rivera, they would not... They'd have him... I don't know what they'd do with him. They'd have him as an opener.
They'd have him as an
opener. They'd pitch him in the third inning.
Right. Yeah. Or they'd have him leading off in the lineup for all I know, playing third base.
It's crazy.
Dude,
well, but so like they don't have their finger on the pulse of the fan base because they manage and construct these teams and go through this. Like, there's no heartbeat to a game. Like, there's no heartbeat to a team. Like, there's no feel in the game. It's all robotic. It's all predetermined. So it's like that's not how the sport was played for 150 years, and then all of a sudden you guys decided to get your pencil pushers out, make them people who couldn't make a JV team, and you make them in charge of constructing your lineups on a night in, night out basis.
Dude, maybe it's probably a huge reason as to why we have so much trouble with the young talent on these teams, because you can use your analytics a million ways and say, all right, this guy can't hit against this guy, so he's not going to play that day. He can't do this, can't do that, so he's never going to play more than 2 games in a row. Maybe if you just let a guy ride out for a couple months of Clint Frazier and Andahar or something post-injury, maybe they actually do what you thought they would do. You
think a 22-year-old kid cares if he's going against a righty or a lefty?
Put him in the line.
You think a 22-year-old kid cares if he throws more outside
dude, if Andahar played in the 90s or something, the guy might ended up being like a staple of the Yankee team, but he doesn't.
And guess what? Maybe he doesn't.
Right,
but at least then you knew.
You know. Now it's a question. Like, if he plays every day in Pittsburgh, he's going to hit 280 and be really good.
We saw what he did for 600 at-bats.
I think it's gotten to a point where it's and I heard Michael Kay talking about this the other day. It's like, a guy will strike out, and the first thing you see when they go in the dugout is they put their face in the iPad and they're studying the at-bat. And I think it's just gotten to a point where it's like so much information that it's paralyzing some of these players.
Again.
I mean, baseball's a thinking man's game. It's a very mental game. If your mental is off, if you're tweaking part of your swing and throwing one little minute part of your swing off, it could up your entire rhythm. And having all of this input thrown at these players and not just letting them go out and play and feel. It's a long season, 162 games. Work the kinks out throughout the way. Sure, if you're really screwing up and the hitting coach is seeing you dip your shoulder, step in the bucket, whatever it may be, all that classic shit. Sure, you could switch it. But, man, it's like the over-analyzing of the game, I think, is with a lot of these players' heads.
Dude, this is what I just said about Stanton. Stanton says, I like going out to the outfield to play because it takes my mind off of what just happened in the box. So if I strike out, now I'm not just sitting in the dugout for 2 or 3 innings thinking about it, going over it, processing it. I go out into the outfield, I got something else to worry about. I clear my head, I take my mind off of it. But they don't listen to him. And he's your player making $300 million. You don't listen to him.
It's a disgrace. It's been hard to watch, I've always been the optimistic guy heading into the playoffs. It's obviously the playoffs are a crapshoot; anything can happen. But in the back of my mind, watching these games, it's hard to watch these games, man. They don't play a good brand of baseball.
It's not baseball.
I mean, dude, it's a crapshoot. It's a game of roulette, whatever. But here's like a little analogy I just thought of here. Yeah, it's going to be a roulette for everybody. But the way the Yankees play, we're picking a number while the Astros are picking a color.
We're picking 00, and they're putting it on black.
And they're going on black. Yeah. So it's a roulette. Sure, the Astros can fall apart at any moment because that's baseball. But when you construct a team this way, you're not betting on a color. Yeah. You're betting on one number here.
Yeah, so here's a big difference, too, that we haven't really mentioned yet. Because, again, the Astros series was so embarrassing. We haven't really even mentioned it, and for good reason. It was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to even say? They didn't show up. The hitting
when you construct a team like them, and their big star, or 2 of their big stars, Altuve and Alvarez, don't do much, the rest of the team picks it up. Well, when you construct a team like us, and our big guy, Judge, goes quiet, everything
we have 20 strikeouts a game.
The whole team goes quiet.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I did say it is a huge thing worth noting that no DJ Benny probably changed
no DJ Benny and Judge. I don't know what it was with Judge. I think he just got exhausted with the home run chase. Dude, I can't make excuses for him. I can't make excuses for him, and I was disappointed with his playoffs, but it's not on Judge, man. We wouldn't even be in the playoffs without Judge.
No way.
Literally.
So
think about. Listen, I will come to his defense a little bit. Judge, if you ever watch this, I love you. Please come back. But the thing about him chasing the home run record, every at-bat,
that's what I'm saying,
a national spectacle for months.
Yeah, bro.
Of
dude,
course.
In the postseason, though, he took some swings that you didn't see him take all year.
I know.
That's
ugly. I'm just trying to think, I think he was gunning for that home run so bad that it messed up his swing a little bit.
He got it.
But
I mean,
again, he goes
yeah,
quiet.
but...
He slumps, right? And the whole team goes quiet. Altuve was hitting 0. Guess what? He was still leadoff every night.
Yeah.
And the Astros were still spanking us.
I want to go on to one other thing, and then we'll read a couple comments because we had a bunch. But I also want to say just one last point on the CS, and I don't know if you guys would agree or disagree, but what is really like annoying about this is honestly, I think of the 2017, 2019, 2022, the 3 series we've had against this Astros team, this was the least impressive Astro performance that I think of those other series that we played. I really think if the 2017 Yanks or 19 Yanks were against this team, I think we definitely win this series. We just gave this, dude.
Nah, dude.
This team, the offense did nothing. Our pitching, if you look, I know they scored 6 runs the last game and 4 runs in another game, so technically they scored a decent amount. Our pitching threw up zeros in like 90% of the innings against them. They had a couple 3-run bombs.
It was a few crooked numbers. Yeah, it was a few crooked numbers.
Dude, it's the same thing. And again,
it came down. They shoved the bat up our ass. They shoved the bat up our ass, and that's terrible. It is what it is.
It's easy to do when you got a bunch of Donaldsons.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know what direction you wanted to go, Cam. I was gonna talk about.
Oh, Cam, hold on. I want to get you on a rant real fast. Just quick.
Brand, you go before I like. Well, I don't know.
I was just gonna not even specific players or names, but like what changes would you like to see for opening day? Like what holes or what?
Oh, like Judge back, please,
right.
God.
So it's like sign Judge.
Sign Judge. Try to find a way to get Benintendi back here.
Benintendi and left.
He's not coming back. The Yanks will not make him the biggest offer that he'll get.
I think Rizzo might be gone too, and Rizzo is a hot topic.
No
for me
shift
because,
next
listen,
year.
It's true.
No shift next year.
Yeah, I mean, he can't be hitting 220. I'll tell you that. I mean, I like the production. The glove is what saves him, and that he's a lefty. He has everything I want. I'd like Rizzo back, although apparently.
I'd love Rizzo back.
But then you would have to consider moving Glaber.
Yes, get out of here.
Yes,
gone.
Bye.
And I like Glaber. I don't hate the guy.
And DJ,
no hard feelings.
And DJ is our full-time second baseman.
Right, or
Correct.
a third baseman, either way. If you want, see,
full-time second baseman.
A perfect world here would be Volpe second, Peraza short, DJ third, or just flop one of them at third. That's not going to happen. IKF would be
Donaldson. IKF's gone. Donaldson is going to be here next year. All right, you know what? There's too much. There's too much to go over with this. We could do.
You know what I want to see?
What?
No Cashman, no Boone.
Yeah, 0.
No,
0.
It's already confirmed they're staying.
Yeah.
It's you asked what I want to see. It's what I want.
I've been wanting to say what I'm about to say for a long time. So I'm going to say it, and then we'll read some comments.
I wonder if this is what I was going to try to get you going off
I've
on.
been to more Yankee games this year than I ever have in my life.
Yep.
I went to a lot of games this year. Brandon went to a ton. Ryan went back. Ryan went to the last game. I went to like 30 Yankee games this year. We've been saying this for years, though. So I'm just going to get these off the chest now.
Long time.
And we've been trying not to curse. We've been letting them fly this time, whatever. Yankee Stadium. Turn the music down. Turn the music down. Take the EDM that you're blaring in my eardrums and turn it the down and give me some other sounds. Then I literally feel like I'm at Electric Zoo with my head inside the speaker at a baseball game. This is a shocker probably for the people that run the entertainment at Yankee Stadium. When I go to a baseball game, I'm going to watch a baseball game.
Yeah, I'm not.
That is my entertainment.
I'm not in a nightclub, and I know I'm not in a nightclub.
I am not there for the stupid gimmicks that they put into the postseason, for the blaring music that's in my face. Bro, I jump sometimes because they put some on that. It's so.
Also,
how about Kim? Kim, how about this? How about we're sitting in the stadium getting the bats ramrodded up
So I was gonna get there.
Every pitcher comes out.
I was gonna get there.
They're joking on the pitcher with the music choice.
We're at CS Game
Nah,
3,
nah,
which was
nah,
literally
nah.
one of the worst
Hey,
postseason
hey,
games I've
hey.
ever seen in my
Go.
life.
They didn't
the
do
only
that.
other postseason game, yes,
Yes,
they
they
did.
did.
Dude,
Yes, they did.
He came out of the game. It's the 6th inning.
We're
Yanks
down
have one hit.
5-0
They're
or
down
4-0.
5-0.
We have one
They're
hit and
playing.
a million
They're playing that
strikeouts.
song, and me and Ryan are like, "Yo, I'm embarrassed to
this?
be at this stadium right now. I'm embarrassed.
What are you doing?
Also, oh well,
we
that's
serious?
actually that's embarrassing. That's disgusting.
Embarrassing.
Also,
Embarrassing.
like, we need to change the walkout music of the players taking the
please.
field in the first inning.
They have Shook
Like,
One's
dude,
Part 2, the hottest
dude.
beat of all time, and then they turn it off for
Can
some
we go back
stupid-ass
to
beat.
Something classic.
Here, while we're piling it on, although this is just a
Dude.
suggestion, we got to get Cotton Eye Joe back.
We got to
in the
get
stadium.
Cotton
I
Eye
think
Joe
that-
back. I think
that might be the reason.
I think he may have
why
died.
We
I
suck.
think he may have died.
Well, no, they
We'll
they
get
went
another
to
one.
they had a new one. They
No
had
offense,
they've had
no
multiple.
offense to OG Cotton Eye Joe, but let's get another Cotton Eye Joe back in the stadium.
But nah, dude,
While we're at it, let's bring. Hold on, while we're at it, can we get Freddie the Pan Man back?
Freddie. Well, he's definitely
Yo,
Freddie's
Cam was saying he might
Should I
start
bring
going
a
into the
pan,
upper
bro?
deck with a pot and just calling himself the pot man or whatever.
The Pop Man. I will.
Cam the
They
Cam
wouldn't
the
let me in
Pan man,
stadium.
yeah.
Because the
Can
Yankee
Man.
You
Stadium's
can't
turned
be the
into.
Pan Man. You can't be.
No,
the
you could
Pan
be the
Man.
Can
Dude,
man.
Brent, how many times have we been at a game this
Just
year
bring a can.
where we're sitting next to each other and we're like frustrated that we can barely talk to each other because the music is so loud.
Cam, that was me and you on Saturday.
Dude,
No,
I'm
but how
screaming
many
at
how many
him.
times when they
I'm
take
at
the
a
field
baseball game.
when they take the field and it's the and we're like, yo, this
Yeah,
is
it's like,
just not getting
every
me
time.
hype. Like, this is
Every
not
time.
getting me hype. This is lame.
But
That and
the
then-
thing that bothered me the most, was taking pitchers out who are literally destroying us.
Dude.
Destroying us. Making Judge stick his ass out and give a half-hearted swing at a pitch. And you're playing like try to crack a joke on the guy music? Like,
dude,
goodbye.
yo,
what are you doing?
They literally
dude?
played
What are
that,
you
and me and
doing?
Ryan were like, "Yo, who is doing that? Are they
What is
like?
this?
Are they Astro fans?
Yeah,
Like, who?
It's
Dude, it was
it's
embarrassing
signs
is the
of
only word.
signs
It's the
of a
only word.
low class franchise. You know,
Yes,
it seems like something.
exactly,
It seems
bro.
like something.
Organizational rot.
It seems like something the Marlins would
Gimmicky,
do, where like,
yeah, bro.
yeah.
And then Brent, they added in that extra segment on the scoreboard of like,
Yeah.
top half of the stadium,
The fellas.
scream, the tourists,
Yeah.
yeah, the boy. Like, yo, we're here
Yo,
to
it
watch
goes
a
right down to-
baseball game.
I caught flack for this. Because you guys in our group chat, you guys call me Ryan Bumgarner because you guys all think I'm no fun.
Yeah, you get overboard
But-
sometimes. But.
Fine. But I said this when it first started happening, and I think it was the first change they made in the stadium towards this gimmicky brand of like, let me try to get the fans
Judges'
involved
chambers?
sort of deal. It was on the home run, flashing the lights,
Yeah.
and how they go the strobe effect. And then
Yeah,
I
I'd
texted you
prefer
guys.
not to.
Yo, I texted you guys with the when Nick Swisher came out.
Yeah,
bro,
I-
that played cornball on
Yo,
TV.
we were there.
That played
Listen, it looked
corny,
cool.
dude.
It looked cool, but we kind of thought the same thing. We're
Yeah.
like, do we need
It
to do
was-
this? Like, we're
I
in
was
the
watching.
Bronx,
I was
bro.
watching at home, and they were showing like replays of it, and I was like, "Yo, here's Swish, like waving the
Dude,
flag
this is
back and-
postseason baseball in the Bronx. To think that they
Am I
think
at like a Friday
to
night
think
like
that-
high school game? What
to
is
think
this?
the fans in a postseason game in the Bronx need like the tchotchke to tell us when to be loud and like that's not
It's insulting.
us, bro.
It's insulting.
And then it's just the cherry on top of like what is kind of happening to us.
I
What's
don't know.
happening?
I
We're
don't
so far away.
I'm gonna
from
say
the
for the
dynasty.
billionth time.
We're so far away.
Organizational rot.
Yeah.
It's seeping into every aspect of the franchise.
We've been talking for a while. I mean, we'll be back whenever like big news happens. We'll probably be gone for a while, but if whenever we figure out what's going on with Judge, I'm sure we'll jump on here because that's going to change everything. Obviously,
Is that San Francisco report true?
I don't know
about them saying
he's going to get
whoever-
offered trillions by everybody.
Well, apparently San Francisco made a claim. I don't know if it's true or not. They made a claim that whatever the highest bidder is, they're going to outbid them.
go up.
Yeah.
All right, then he's
No, that's
The Yankees offer $1 billion. San Francisco, 1.1.
The Giants apparently said we will not be outbid on him. If he doesn't come to us, it won't be because we didn't offer him the most.
That'll determine a lot. But I mean, this was I wanted to do this just as
I don't know
like
if that's
rant.
true or not. I don't know if that's true or not.
But yeah, I mean, dude, we saw this coming a mile away, and it happened. You know, you always hope for the best, like, because dude, the episode before this one, you know, if anybody cares, which they don't, I was like, yo, I see no reason why the Yanks won't like win this series. I called for him to sweep.
This is it.
I called for him to sweep every series because, like, right before it starts, I get this
blind optimism. Why would I go into a series thinking we're going to lose? I'm going to go into a series thinking we're going to win.
I'll tell you right now.
That's how I am as a fan.
Cam showed up Saturday night with a loss on his mind already.
Because they already lost the first. I saw they struck out 40 times in 2 games. I knew. If you didn't know at that point.
Blind optimism.
No, the blind optimism's gone once you.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, we'll be back. Thanks for everybody rocking with us.
I wish I could go into my winter hibernation with that whole hey.
Oh, you know what? I'll read
spring hope's eternal. Blah 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 blah. But I gotta be honest. Maybe it'll change. Maybe I'll be happy to see the green grass when the snow thaws. But
I always am.
But I'm not gonna be.
I was back. No, I'll be. I'll be.
Big picture.
Opening day.
I'll be like, yay, baseball.
Dude,
I'll be like, yay, baseball's back.
Right. When March
College
comes around
basketball.
and we got a team, we're gonna be jonesing for the start of the season.
Am I gonna be excited? Am I gonna be excited because I think the Yanks are gonna finally change flip the script here, or am I gonna be excited simply because baseball's back? I think I'm going to be excited because baseball's back.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to have
hold on.
Give me
2 more minutes here because we're going a while here and I want to read a bunch of stuff. This is all negative stuff though, so I don't even.
Good. This has been a big vent session. How could it be anything else?
Ken Folks said Cashman's got it made. Imagine having that type of job security where you consistently fail to meet your stated goals for the year. I want him gone too, but I don't see the Steinbrenners moving on.
Hold on. I didn't mention this, but I was thinking this. Let me get your thought on this fast. Brian Cashman is responsible for 1 ring.
Yeah, and yeah. Luke McHugh, you're the man. You've been.
You were quick to say yes on that. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's common knowledge. That's common knowledge.
No, he has
that
4
wasn't
rings.
his team.
Okay.
Luke McHugh, you're the man. You've commented on everything here, but he was just talking about Game 4 when it happened because these are 3-day-old comments, so we don't need that. It was just depression about the game. Connor Miller said, I've been saying for years, and people call me an idiot. Once again, it proves my point. Boone is not a good manager. This team has the talent, but Boone has made terrible decisions regarding managing the bullpen and lineups. We all agree. We were just saying that. They don't even look like they care anymore. That's all on the manager. I wish the fans would boycott this team. I miss George. Agree. The Shack Attack said, you guys are crazy. There's no way Steinbrenner fires Cashman. He's too cheap to fire Boone.
No, I agree.
No, he wasn't saying that to us. He wasn't saying that
to
to us because I posted a poll, and half the poll out of 300 people said that they thought Boone and Cash would be out. Obviously, that's not going to happen.
I think Steinbrenner needs to sell the team.
Con
that far.
Con Pop said, give me Jeter as GM and Don Mattingly or A-Rod in the dugout. There's no way. I mean,
I want Coney managing the team.
Yeah, but you do Jeter
I'll take Mattingly.
Then what happens if that doesn't work out?
Oh,
then you tarnish. Then you tarnish to Yankee.
It doesn't matter.
grass.
They've said they're staying. There's no point in even talking.
Right,
about
I know.
Well, that's just a hypothetical, right?
But it's
The
a lot of
last two-
hypothetical
if I love
because we
that.
know what the reality is.
The last 2, Home Watch LLC and Justin Shrug, said in tandem here that Mattingly will be the manager next year and then Jeter's going to be the GM,
Yeah.
which, again, we know
I like the idea, but it's
Unfortunately.
not happening.
Yeah, so
I don't even know. I got to be honest. I don't even know if I like the idea of that, even in a perfect world.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is
we're
what it
wrapping
is.
this up. Thank you to anybody who watched this first season of this. It's 13 episodes. Again, we're just
working the
this is all we
kinks
talk
out.
about.
Yeah, we don't know
Yeah.
what we're doing. We're trying to make something happen.
No idea. We're doing it.
It doesn't matter. We're three brothers now living in 3 different places. It's a chance for us
Although
to
we're
talk
really
about
not.
the thing.
This building in my window,
Yeah.
and that Brandon's in there.
Can you see me?
I was flickering my light and Brandon was on the top floor. That was not funny. Brandon's in the bougie building.
Well, all right, then it gives me a way to talk baseball with you two for once a week.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, again, we'll have a
all it
couple
really
more of
is.
these. Subscribe if you're watching. Throw a I
Smash the like
I'd
button.
Like knowing
Subscribe.
What people say. Yeah, dude. Honestly, you have
like,
to
follow,
say.
and subscribe.
To the 3,700 that already did, and the 2022 home run video is already out. I had that
Go
made
watch
before
that.
Game 4 even started.
All right. Well,
So yeah, that's it.
I guess it
we'll
was.
see you guys again.
I guess it was an okay
It was
season.
sad.
You know,
No, it wasn't.
it was okay.
No, it
This
wasn't.
season sucked. The only
No, it
difference
wasn't.
between this year and last year was Judge
Judge
had
hit
the
62.
greatest season
That's
of
why
all
it's
time,
okay.
So.
The season from a team perspective stunk.
Fail.
From a one player
Stink.
Aaron Judge perspective, it was
Stink.
great.
But guess what?
It stunk.
We'll end 2022 with this.
Stink.
You ready?
Stank.
You ready?
Stunk.
You ready?
They're
They're gonna win the World Series next year.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. No,
Yanks
they're not.
World
No, they're
Series
not.
2023. Book
Judge
it.
is
No,
coming
they're not.
back.
Book it.
Judge has unfinished
What are
business.
the odds?
and
Put a
he's
futures
pissed.
bet in.
Oh, Judge
Judge is
might
hitting.
come back.
Judge is
They're
hitting
not winning the World
63
Series.
next year, and he's gonna hit 420 in the postseason. And
Mark my words. As long as Boone and Cashman are in the picture, no championships.
All right. I hate
Well,
all
that's
of
not
you.
good.
Bookmark it.
peace.